Good afternoon, Tigers. Out on my deck reading again. Boot camp. Resistance is futile. The Jackson kids are down the hill getting a little outdoor sunshine as well. So you may hear them giving some good hollers. All right, Chapter 4. You will obey all orders immediately and without hesitation. Hey, big guy. It's my second morning. I've been here for roughly 30 hours, and it's been one non-stop caffeine headache. I'm sitting at the end of a long table with my new family. Our family name is Dignity, and we are 20 males wearing identical forest green polo shirts and blue jeans. Our hair and fingernails closely clipped. Long nails are considered a weapon. Our name may be Dignity, but from the looks of these guys, it might as well be losers. Maybe it's the headache, but I swear I've never seen a sketchier bunch of rejects. If it's too fat or too skinny, if it slouches or has bad zits or a permanently sour expression on its face, it's here. No one's allowed to speak to me, and frankly, I'm more than okay with that. The less I have to do with this bunch, the better. At other family tables, females wear jeans and red polo shirts. Lower-level males have had their hair shorn close to their skulls. The hair of lower-level females has been cut short. Only upper-level residents can grow their hair longer if they choose. Family fathers and mothers wear white polo shirts and khaki slacks. They patrol the tables, assisted by chaperones, in black polo shirts and khakis. Breakfast this morning consists of watery, lukewarm scrambled eggs, cold, soggy toast, and a powdered orange drink that makes tang seem like champagne. The only eating implements allowed are white plastic spoons. Through speakers hanging from the ceiling, a taped lecture thunders. Good posture is important because it helps your body function at top speed. It promotes movement efficiency and endurance and contributes to an overall feeling of wellness. The tape is so loud, it's painful. I suspect it has two purposes. The obvious one is to cajole residents to focus on self-improvement. The less obvious purpose is to make it difficult for us to communicate with each other. But the ridiculously loud volume also has the opposite effect, allowing students to communicate without being noticed. Hey you, big guy. The whispers come during the brief moments in the tape when the reader pauses to catch his breath. The kid doing the whispering is sitting at the middle of our table. He's got short reddish hair and freckles that dot his face like a smallpox victim. His lip curls into a nasty smirk that reveals small, yellow, reptilian teeth, and his eyes are pale pink like an albino's. Seated around him is his posse, guys who stare fiercely at me as if they mean to project a big attitude. But it's the red-haired kid who's making trouble. What's wrong, big guy? Afraid to talk? He knows that I'm not allowed to speak without permission. Big guy or big chicken? I was always big for my age. Now I'm just big, period. 6'4", 230 pounds, and broad-shouldered, even if I'm the opposite of athletic. It's genetics, just the way I was born. You would assume it's a bonus to be tall, and in some ways I guess you'd be right. But you'd also be surprised. Everyone assumes I'm a great basketball player, which I'm not. At least once a day I manage to bang my head on a low doorway. And sometimes I'm a target for smaller guys with Napoleon complexes, like this red-haired jerk, who think they have something to prove. Bawk, bawk, bawk. The freckled kid makes chicken sounds. The guys around him grin. Since I'm the new kid, my father is keeping an extra sharp eye on me. His name is Joe, and he is the thin, black-haired man who ordered me to strip in the windowless room when I first arrived. Joe's eyes are puffy and red from spring allergies, and his nose twitches constantly. He seems convinced that we are always up to no good. Already this morning, I had to do 20 push-ups, the last 10 on my knees, for not tucking in my shirt properly, while Joe screamed that I was a lazy, good-for-nothing slob with low self-esteem and no self-respect. I wanted to ask why he thought that, since he didn't know me at all. Let me reread that and make more sense. I wanted to ask why he thought that, since he didn't know me at all. Of course, being a level 1, I couldn't say anything. The red-haired kid goes quiet with Joe when Joe cruises slowly past our table. Joe's body language says he thinks he may have heard something. I take another spoonful of cold scrambled eggs and stare straight ahead, chewing. According to the rules, I must eat at least half of every meal. If I don't, whatever is left over will be served to me again at the next meal. No sooner does Joe pass than a small glob of egg hits me on the side of my nose. Wiping it off, I slowly turn my gaze toward the red-haired kid, who bares his lizard teeth for an instant. What was that, Garrett Durrell? Garrett Durrell? Suddenly Joe is standing over me with his hands planted firmly on his hips. His voice is loud enough for the entire food hall to hear. Sorry? I answer. Sorry what? His twitching nose reminds me of a rabbit. Sorry, sir. What are you sorry about, Joe? Joe, what are you sorry about? Joe's voice becomes shrill, like Hitler's when he was rallying the Nazis. I try not to stare at his nose. It takes concentration not to laugh. I don't know, sir. Joe's face tightens like a fist. You disrespecting me, punk? You don't know what? The food hall has gone still. Not a tap of the spoon or a slurp of juice. My eyes aim down at the table, but I know they're all watching me. I don't know, sir. You don't know what? Maybe it's the omnipresent headache, but I've lost track of what this is about. I stare down at the table and don't answer. Stand up, Joe shouts. I do as I'm told. My legs tremble and my sore knees ache when I put weight on them. Earlier this morning, we had to run 5 miles in military-style leather boots through the woods, across muddy streams, and up and down hills. We were not allowed to stop or walk. Those who grew too tired to run were forced to crawl on their hands and knees until they could run again. Standing now in the food hall, I glance out of the corner of my eye at a family of females at the next table. I know they're watching me, but when I look, they avert their eyes. Except for one, who sits apart from the others, her black hair pulled to the side and her blue eyes clear and unwavering. A square handwritten cardboard hangs around her neck. 2 years and still pulling the same crap. That's what the sign reads. Her eyes meet mine with a steady, knowing gaze. Stand straight, Joe shouts. I straighten up and look down into Joe's face. Our eyes meet. His are small, beady, and hard. His face is red with fury, and his forehead is lined. I can't understand what he's so angry about. What's that look? He demands sharply. Sorry, sir. You disrespecting me, Garrett. No, sir. Joe leans closer, his nose twitching rapidly. You think you're smart, don't you? No, sir. The hell you don't, memorizing the whole Bible in 40 minutes. Murmurs break out at the tables around us, only to be extinguished by hard stares from mothers and fathers. You got some kind of photographic memory? Nah, you're too stupid looking. Joe grins as he finds this amusing. You just got lucky on the test, right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. You think you can hide behind that sir crap like some kind of protective shield? Forget it, punk. Anyone can see what's really going on. You think we're stupid, right? Well, that crap just doesn't cut it here. Understand? Yes, sir. Crap, it appears, is a catchword for all undesirable behavior at Lake Harmony. Yeah, you... Achoo! Joe suddenly sneezes. Bless you, sir. Joe whips out a disgusting yellowed handkerchief and blows his nose. Damn allergies. With watery, red-rimmed eyes, he gives me a menacing look. Did you just say, bless you? What are you, my priest? I don't realize that he actually wants me to answer. Answer me, punk! No, sir, I am not your priest. Is that the way people talk where you come from? Please and thank you and bless you? Yes, sir. Everyone's all nice and civilized? Only on the surface, sir. My father scowls slightly, as if not certain what to make of this answer. What does that mean? It means that where I come from, people pretend to act nice and civilized, sir, but they'll stab you in the back just the same. Joe's eyebrows dip slightly. So tell me something, Garrett Durrell. How in the world did you wind up here? I don't know how to answer that, sir. Why not? Everybody else in this room knows why they're here. Joe turns to our table. John, tell Garrett why you're here. Yes, sir. John, a thin blonde kid with blinking eyes, pops out of his seat. He has a slight tremor, like a small animal perpetually in fear of larger prey. I was disrespectful to my mom, he says eagerly. I sold drugs and stole bikes and skipped school. Thank you, John. John sits down obediently. Joe looks up at me. Tell us why you're here, Garrett. I suppose I was disrespectful too, sir. And how do you suppose you were disrespectful? I didn't want to do what my parents wanted me to do, sir. And what did they want you to do? My thoughts are racing like speed chess. What move can I make? What answer can I give? He can't really expect me to talk about this in front of all these people. I'll be glad to tell you in private, sir. Around the room, murmurs sprout and vanish like puffs of smoke from firecrackers. Joe snorts with contempt. I have news for you, Garrett. There's no private here. No one gets through this program with their pride intact. Understand? Your pride goes with the rest of the crap. We tear you down, then we build you back the way you should be. And we start with you telling all of us why you're here. Sir, I'm sure that, given a little more time, I can find a way to explain it. Joe's face reddens, and he glares so fiercely I can see the pulse in his forehead. I wish I knew what he's so pissed off about. You don't get it, do you? He snarls. This is some kind of game with you. You think all you got to do is pretend to cooperate and you'll get out of here? No, sir. Oh, yes, sir. I see it clear as day. Most definitely, yes, sir. I stand straight and keep my eyes on his because that is what he's ordered me to do. Joe stares back, and a slight, tight smile creeps onto his lips. Oh, you're good. Yeah, you really think you got this place wired, don't you? No, sir. Yes, sir, Joe shouts and spittles spray across my face. Yes, sir. Joe presses his twitching nose closer. Well, which is it, punk? Yes, sir, or no, sir? I don't know, sir. I don't know what you want from me, sir. You don't know what I want? He repeats. What are you, stupid? I just told you. Joe swings around to the crowd. You want to know why Garrett's here? Because he stayed out all night and wouldn't come home. Because he didn't go to school. Because he lied. He stole money. He took drugs. And he was messing around with his teacher, who was 8 years older than him. My face is suddenly hot, and the air in my lungs is too thin to breathe. What the? I can't believe my parents told them all that. What were they thinking? It's no one's business. Once again, Joe is under my chin, his face tilted up at mine close enough that I can smell the flowery scent of his hair gel. You want me to tell you why you're here? Because you are disrespectful, disobedient, ignorant, and rebellious. You were ruining your life and your parents' lives, and you were too damn selfish and self-centered to care. Am I right, Garrett? My hands ball into fists. My heart is pounding hard, and my breaths come and my breaths are coming out short and fast. They play by a different set of rules here, and I'd better learn them fast. Out of the corner of my eye, I see two black-shirted chaperones moving towards us. That's when it hits me. This is a setup. Joe is trying to get me to take a swing at him. The type and degree of restraint administered shall be at the discretion of the staff. Lake Harmony and its employees will not be held liable for any injury sustained by you during the administration of restraint, as it is understood that such injury is the result of willful disobedience on your part. I take a step back, unclench my fists, and inhale and exhale deeply. My heart is still beating, but the anger is beginning to drain. Yes, sir. You're right, sir. Joe's eyes widen for a moment. He knows he almost had me. He looks past me at the approaching chaperones. Mr. Sparks, Mr. Gold, take this punk to TI. The chaperones are the same two who guarded the door to the windowless room when I first arrived. The tall, athletic one and the short troll. At the other table, kids grin and leer as if they're glad I'm being taken away. The girl with the black hair and the sign around her neck is one of the few who doesn't look pleased. Our eyes meet again, and she purses her lips and shakes her head slightly, as if to say sorry. Even though I make no attempt to resist, the troll, Mr. Gold, grabs my left wrist and roughly twists my arm behind my back as if I need to be restrained. Mr. Sparks takes his hand firmly around my right biceps. They guide me out of the food hall and into hell.